Okay, so welcome to our work schedule kickoff meeting today for our college division and campus HR contacts. This is in reference to the time and labor and absence management project implementation that is now underway. So to get started, let's review our agenda. So today we're just going to do a quick overview of the project. To show you a sample of what this self-service tiles will look like in HCM PeopleSoft, talk a little bit about some new terms that you will be hearing. What is the work schedule in PeopleSoft time and labor? We're going to give you some work schedule examples. We're going to look at an HCM PeopleSoft timesheet, and specifically today we're going to be looking at the elapsed timesheet. And then we're going to look at the work schedule template, and that will be for your elapsed employees as well, the employees that will be using the elapsed timesheet, and then some additional information at the end. So what is time and labor and absence management? The information in these next couple of slides came from a communication that was sent out a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully you received that communication, but if you did not, then you'll be up to date here at the end of throughout this session. So the implementation is officially underway for a new time reporting system that will replace ITAMs. And we did talk about that a little bit during phase 1 of the project. And it is scheduled to go live during summer of 2021, so sometime next summer. So time and labor is the PeopleSoft application that allows employees to report working hours and leave directly into the PeopleSoft system using timesheets in employee self-service, and specifically an elapsed timesheet, and we'll talk about what that means later in this presentation. And then also absence management. There are going to be tiles available there where an employee can request paid time off for sick leave, annual leave, and other types of leave, as well as that's where it will be approved and transferred to time and labor for payroll purposes as well. So who will be impacted? All employees, students, staff, and faculty currently using ITAMs for time reporting will be directly impacted. And so, but you know, there are some I know change. We've gone through a lot of change with finance and HCM over the last few years, but there are some great benefits to this new system. So there's going to be an easy access to timesheets in employee self-service. And I think this next one is really important because now you're going to have your pay stubs and your time cards all in one system. So it's going to be like a one-stop shop. You don't have to go to 2 different systems to see your pay stubs, or to add direct deposit information, and then go to a different system for your time cards. It's all going to be there in one place for you. Efficiency in payroll processing. So this really mostly affects our central office, but I'm sure they'll be very happy for for more efficiency in this area. Manager validation of employee time, and then greater reporting capabilities for managers. We don't have a lot of specifics for that, but as time goes by and before go live, we'll certainly have more information regarding reporting for managers, because I know you guys all like to have access to reports. So today we have, I'm pretty sure almost everybody that's on the project team listed here on our call today. They are the experts. I am presenting the information, and they're going to answer any questions that you may have. So we have from Human Resources, Belinda, Connie, and CG, and they are our business folks from Human Resources. For payroll, we have Lindsay, Wanda, and Jennifer. Benefits, we have Helen and Angela. And then we have our support team. So that's our HCM support team, Jennifer McKay, who is heading up absence management, along with Prashant, and then Deanna Sloop heading up time and labor with Shriram. And then we also have Joey Hester and Ray providing support there as well. And then for change management and training, you have Teresa and myself, and we are happy to be back together, working together as a team. So some very familiar names here. Pretty much everyone that was on phase 1 project is here for this implementation. All right, so this is just a screenshot of what it's going to look like in the employee self-service. And just to let you know that some of the tiles here, this screenshot was taken from a test environment. So some of the tiles may or may not be available in production, but so I just want to clarify that. But you will see that you have the time tile as well as the absence balances, cancel balances, any of the absence management tiles here at the top. So they will be in there, a tile that employees can click on. And as I said, a one-stop shop, because now you have your payroll here, your benefit details, your personal details, your talent profile, all of that information will be there together. Then we have manager self-service homepage. And so managers will actually be able to go in and have access to tiles where they can approve time and approve absences as well. So before I get into the meat of this presentation, I want to stop and see if there are any questions that you may have.
Joanne, we don't have any questions at this time.
Okay, thank you. And my team, if you want to incorporate any additional information along the way, please don't hesitate to do so. All right, so some time and labor terminology. These are some words that you'll probably be hearing over the next few months and something that you'll need to be familiar with. What is a time reporter in PeopleSoft Time and Labor? That is any employee who is enrolled in time and labor. So anyone that's going into time and labor to enter exceptions and or time worked. We elapsed so an elapsed timesheet is really what we're going to be focusing on today, and that's reporting a number of hours worked per day. And we have two different kinds of time reporters. We have an exception time reporter, and those are going to be your salaried exempt employees that will need to go into a timesheet to report exceptions such as leave only. And then you have your positive time reporters, and those are your salaried non-exempt employees that will need to go in to report their time as well as any exceptions or any leave. So those are how we will be able to identify the two. You have the salary exempt, which are exception time reporters, and the salaried non-exempt, which are positive time reporters. So that might be some new language, some new terminology there for you guys. Okay, so this is why we reached out. Time and labor is actually, it places each employee into a work group, and then each work group is then assigned a work schedule. So we need to make sure that we have all of the work schedule variations that are out there in the colleges and departments, that we collect all of those so that we're making sure that all of our are placed into the correct schedule. So a schedule of an employee in Time and Labor PeopleSoft is work expectation of employees for any given day, week, or month in a workplace. And the process of creating a schedule is called scheduling. A schedule is used to determine the type of timesheet an employee will use. And so Time and Labor will use elapsed timesheets to show the duration of time to be worked for salaried exempt and salary non-exempt employees. So we are going to start by talking about the different types of schedules. So we are going to begin by talking about a default schedule. We want to clarify that we will not need scheduling information for all of your employees. We will not, because there are some things that we already have and we already know, and we can use that information to place employees into the proper schedule. So for example, our default schedule is going to be any employee that works Monday through Friday, and that's anyone that works 37.5 hours or 40 hours divided by 5. So they work Monday through Friday, no exceptions there, Monday through Friday, 37.5 or 40 hours divided by 5. And we're calling that our default schedule. And this is going to, so this default schedule is going to be something that the time and labor, the project team will already have created, because we have the majority of our employees that will fall within this default schedule. And we don't need any information regarding those folks. So anybody that works Monday through Friday, 37.5, 40 hours a week divided by 5, we don't need to gather any information for those folks. And as I said, this will apply to FTE, RGP, time limited, temporary, and student employees. Also, we don't need any additional information for temporary and student employees either. So falls within the default schedule mentioned above. And then our temporary and student employees, we don't need any additional information for those folks. But anybody that does not fit within that default schedule definition, those are the folks that we're going to need to gather information for. We provided some examples of what a default schedule could be, and you'll see a variation of the 40-hour and the 37.5 hour right here on the screen. So time and labor, it doesn't matter if they come in 8 o'clock in the morning and work till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't matter what time they come and leave, as long as they're working 7.5 hours a day or 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, we are fine, and that is considered our default. So I hope I explained that a little better. If not, please ask your questions. I'll stop before I move on to the next screen.
Joanne, we do have one question. I don't believe it's anything we are covering today.
Okay.
If an employee has access to ITAMs now, even if they are not the official supervisor or HR contact, will they still have the same access in the new system, such as a business manager who needs to review hours inputted or not input for grant projections?
Yeah, so we're not going to cover that today, and that's really, and guys, anyone correct me if I'm wrong here from the team, but that's going to be when we reach out for security and for roles, and we'll just make sure that you guys will identify those folks that you want to make sure have that access in the system. And as long as they're identified and approved by your college, then I think you should be good to go.
That was the only question we have right now.
All right, thank you. Okay, so this is one of the schedule examples that we will actually need to collect from you folks regarding your employees. It's the compressed schedule, and it's any employee that works 4 days a week instead of the normally scheduled 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, while continuing to work either their 37.5 or 40 hours per week. So it's what they're doing is they're either working 9.5 hours 4 days a week or 10 hours per day for 4 days a week. And so there's some examples of what that schedule looks like down here. That could be Monday through Thursday. It could be Tuesday through Friday. They could be working Monday, skip Tuesday, and be in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So there's all kinds of different options there. It could be you could even include a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday through Wednesday. So anything that's compressed where you're working those 37.5 or 40 hours per week in 4 working days, we will need those schedule variations. And this would be example of 5 different variations for a compressed schedule. So if you have folks that are not, that are working something different than Monday through Thursday compressed, then we need to have what all those different variations are for your employees. Any questions regarding compressed schedules?
Nothing at this time.
All right, thank you. I hope I'm not going too fast. All right, so this is what an elapsed timesheet is going to look like in HCM PeopleSoft. And it's going to show the duration of time to be worked. And it is very similar to what you do in ITAMS today, which is kind of nice. The change, the look and feel of the timesheet will be a little bit different, but I think not so much that you guys, won't feel comfortable with it. So our salary exempt employees, as we spoke about, they are our exception time reporters. They're going to only go into the system to enter any exceptions, such as taking leave for a day. And then you have our positive time reporters, which are salaried non-exempt employees, and they're actually going to go into time and labor daily to enter their time worked and also to enter any leave taken. So this is a great screenshot of what that timesheet is going to look like. And as we get closer, we're going to be sure to we're going to have great training materials. We're going to make sure that everyone is ready to get in there and use this time reporting system day one. And we'll communicate with you guys all along the way and talk more about what our training plan looks like and how we're going to make sure that everyone is prepared for that. Okay, so this is our elapsed template for salaried exempt, non-exempt employees. So this is the template that I will be sending out to all of you at the end of this presentation. And this is where you will actually list all of the different schedules that we need from you. So, and you'll just add it to, we just have one template, and you'll just make sure to add that information here. You could have 20 different variations of schedules. You could have more. We just need to make sure that you gather everything, every option that you have out there. So we talked about compressed schedules, and that's anything a 4-day work week where they're working their 37.5 or 40 hours a week. And we gave you some examples of what that might look like. But here is the second the second type of schedule that we're looking for. We're looking for anyone that works 5 days a week outside of that standard Monday through Friday, which is what we are calling the default schedule right now. Because remember, if you're working Monday through Friday with equal number of hours per day, we don't need that information. But if you have someone who's working, your 37.5 or 40 hours a week, but it's different than your Monday through Friday. Maybe they're working Sunday through Thursday. And another great example would be maybe they're working 9 hours each day, Monday through Thursday, but then only 4 hours on a Friday. That would be different than the standard Monday through Friday. And then also to keep in mind that when you're providing us with your schedule variations for your employees, that you're providing it the information for our normal schedules and not for anything that's been created for COVID-19, because that's all eventually, hopefully, we'll all be back on back to normal, and those won't even pertain to our regular days anymore. So, do we have any questions regarding the elapsed time template and what we're asking you for?
We have one question as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have staff that rotate Sundays and will work a few Sundays per month. Would they be included in this?
I'm going to have Deanna answer that question. I would say yes.
Hey, this is Deanna. Yeah, we would want to know those situations and those schedules.
Christina, this is Belinda. I see your question. Is that kind of like sorted out? Like, is it more than just a weekly schedule? Like, this is just Sunday through Saturday. So is that something that's more like they have like a 2-week schedule or something like that? Is that kind of what you're thinking, that you may have more than one line for this if you have it spread out throughout the month? So Deanna, with the template, with those who have something like that where they might work 2 weekends a month or something, do we need another kind of set of example here that have like maybe 2 weeks at a time or something of that nature? Because otherwise, Yeah.
I said that we could do that, or if they wanted to make special notes on here, just as long as we know it's representing, one person's schedule.
And we could always, Belinda, I'm not sure if this will take care of it, but we could always add an additional field over here for notes if they wanted to add some extra information, if they thought it was helpful. Would that work?
It just needs to be noted, like if they're working every other Saturday or something, so that
Yeah.
if that's the case, so whatever y'all think is best, but I don't know if whatever works for y'all when y'all are looking at it.
Okay. And I can chat with Deanna after this session, and we can make a decision about what's the best way to make that happen. And we want to make it easy for all of you folks as well. So, all right. Any more questions?
There are no other questions at this time.
Wow. Okay. All right. So that's the end of our presentation. I'm actually at the end of this session. I will send everybody the PowerPoint presentation, the recording of this webinar as well. And I'm actually going to upload this webinar to YouTube. So everybody should be able to access that recording pretty easily from the email. And also the work schedule template. It says templates, but it's just one template. It's the elapsed time sheet template. And before I do that, though, I'll have a quick chat with Deanna to see, how we can make sure that those type of work schedule samples that we just spoke about are incorporated there. And expect to see that come to you from cmteam@sc.edu. That is the email that you will be receiving things from here on out. And that's either going to be myself or Teresa. And anything that we send to you is always going to be on behalf of the project team. Completed work schedule templates are due to the team by Friday, November 13th, and you will email those completed templates to cmteam@sc.edu. That week, that's probably that Monday or Tuesday, I'll be sending out a reminder letting you know that the due date is close. And then as we get closer, I'll be reaching out to those folks who still need to get that information into us. Connie and Jennifer Story will need some time to review that information before they pass it on to our team, the support team, so that they can start adding those schedules to the system. If you have any questions regarding the template, please send them to CM Team. And if I can't answer it or Teresa can't answer the question, then we'll be sure to reach out to the team, and they will answer those questions for us, and we'll get back with you. So this is not going to be the last time that you'll hear from us, though. We are going to be reaching back out again in early of next year, because then we'll have to start thinking about, what employees belong to what schedule. So you're going to actually have to start plugging employee names into specific schedules. And we'll provide what all those variations are. You're giving those to us, but we'll make sure that your spreadsheet is set up so that all of the options that you gave to us are there, and then you can plug their names in. What we're going to do is we're going to be using the spreadsheet and just adding additional tabs at the bottom all the way throughout this project. So you'll include your schedule variations in the spreadsheet that you'll receive today. Early the latest tomorrow morning. I'm not sure what will happen with the template, if we have to discuss more, but definitely tomorrow morning. Also, that's where you'll start plugging employee names into the different schedules in that same document. And then as well as down the road, things change. You have new hires. As we get closer to go live, we'll send back that same document so that you can review to make sure that there's nobody missing. And if there is an employee name missing, that you can add them to that document as well. And I'm thinking that maybe it would be nice to keep all of the security together. So this document is going to follow all of you guys from beginning to end. So just keep that in mind. And maybe it's a good thought as you guys are, making note of adding all of these different schedule variations to your to the spreadsheet, to kind of keep in mind who those employees are. It never hurts to start working on that early. So And that is the end of our presentation. I'm not sure if you have any questions, if you need me to clarify anything else in terms of the different types of, I'll go back to that, in terms of the different types of schedules that we need to collect using this template.
We don't have any questions right now, but the chat is open, so you guys feel free to write any questions you have.
Absolutely. Good point. The chat is open. So if you come up with something after we sign off, then yes, you're more than welcome to ask those questions in that chat box, and we'll see them. Okay. I hope I made it, I hope we kept it as simple as possible, and we hope it's clear what we're asking for. But if you need any clarifications, we are all here for you. So please reach out if you need anything. So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We look forward to working with you, or I know most of these folks have been, but I look forward to getting back on the HR, HCM side of the house. And just anything you need from us, reach out, and we'll be there to support you any way we can. So have a great rest of your day, guys. And thank you to the rest of the team for joining us today and helping to answer questions.